Briar lay in her bed. All right. Okay. So timer was broken. That's a thing. Thank you everyone for joining me on this Christmas day for a very special PWA Christmas. We're going to be kind of delving into some of the stories over the last 2 years. Um, some written by me, some written by the community. Um, stuff from PWA, stuff from POW, stuff from GDW, and maybe a few surprises along the way. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I planned on starting at about noon, and then I found out. Spooky, welcome. On weed, welcome. Uh, Thank you very much for that sub. I do appreciate that. Um, so I had planned on doing like this big grandiose thing. I've been working on a video project, or trying to rather, and it was not going to be ready in time, so hence no traditional intro. However, um, being that it is Christmas, um, I will be having people over, uh, so I have to kind of give myself like a hard cutoff time, because that's when they should start arriving. So there's that. I am wearing my holiday Bloodlines 2 sweater, and I tried wearing this with the headphones and it just didn't work, so I will wear it now. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. So yeah. Um, for those that know me well enough, Mr. Morley, welcome. For those that know me well enough, Christmas is not one of my favorite. Thomas Black Christmas. Um, I I've never been a big Christmas person. I really haven't, and I'm taking off this hat because it's hot as fuck. I've never been a real Christmas person. Christmas is just, I don't know. I don't want to say it's been kind of always not. It's always been a shit show, but it's usually been a shit show. So because of that, I've never really liked the holiday. Um, I mean, yeah, you get people together and so on and so forth, and blah 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 blah. But I mean, for me, Christmas. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm more of a Halloween person. That's me. Hence the vampire fucking holiday sweater. That's just the way it is. But um, yeah. So we have submissions the from the community on what stories should be read. Um, and I mean, some of them are fucking great. I I really love them, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Um, I will kind of kick things off though with something that is not on the list, and this was submitted by On Weed. Um, Hey! So this is one of our first surprises of this stream. Onwe does not currently have anyone on the roster, but they do have uh, two gents over in GDW that have made an appearance. Um, Now, I'm going to preface this by saying that this story takes place before Naughty or Nice. But I posted it, so it didn't meet the deadline. Yeah. Listen, the Hannah Lee one, Hannah Lee and Angel one that I posted like an hour or two ago, same thing. Or even um, the new Thomas Black promo. Um, I kind of wanted that, but it is what it is. A cold mid-December evening in London, with many people are outside braving the chills to get their Christmas shopping done before the inevitable week-long last-minute rush. The French Connection are inside their warm, cozy flat and not entirely sure what to do. Marcel is sitting on the couch in his red striped pajamas, fuzzy red dressing gown, and slippers, sipping cafe au lait from his mug. Vincent, still wearing his casual ensemble of black jeans and a long sleeved red shirt, is kneeling down barefoot beside the TV and pulling out several things from the TV table's shelving. Coffee is going to get cold, Marcel comments before questioning the obvious. What are you doing anyway? Think we could watch a movie, eh? Vincent suggests, picking up what looks like a medium sized pile of DVDs. Might have a might have to separate the Christmas movies though. A movie sounds good. What do we have? Vincent places the DVD pile on the table in front of them before sitting next to Marcel on the couch. Near the front, yeah, yeah, it will, it will. Uh, Being careful not to knock him or his cafe au late. Um, he then begins to pick up the DVDs one by one, giving each one a look over. Anything not in the Christmassy spirit gets put to the side, with a curious Marcel picking up the occasional non festive DVD to get a closer look. Vincent happens to glance over at Marcel when the latter has the worst possible DVD for him to be curious about. No, not that one, bud. The Texas Chainsaw. Marcel immediately drops the DVD, staring at the inanimate object as if it has bit him. He then starts slightly shaking, not out of cold, but out of fear. It's clear the word chainsaw has reminded him of a certain someone he encountered at Crossfire. Hey, it's okay, Vincent says, reaching over and giving Marcel a reassuring hug. Well, as best as he can without knocking Marcel's drink. The death the death guy's not here, and if Todd ever invites us to a PWA show again, we'll get Kyle to tie that asshole to a table or something, and you could beat him up, eh? What about Grandpa? I'd deal with Grandpa. Don't you worry. Now let's see what else we got here. Vincent continues to go through the pile, not saying more than the occasional muttered title until he stops on a mostly black and very familiar cover. Not a Christmas movie, but we could always go with a general classic. Marcel takes one look at the cover and winces, as if he's just been hit with a painful memory. Last time we watched The Godfather, you got drunk on Canadian whiskey and called Black Rose at 3 in the morning, doing the terrible Marlon Brando impression. She nearly killed you during our next show. She's hardly going to fly all the way from New York just to kill me, Vincent replies, though his playful grin soon disappears as he has a realization. Oh, wait, she totally would. He then puts an action looking DVD in the Christmas pile, causing Marcel to raise a curious eyebrow. How is that a Christmas movie? Die Hard is totally a Christmas movie, Vincent protests. It takes place at Christmas. I'd say it's an action movie that takes place at Christmas, not a bona fide Christmas movie, Marcel explains, then looks a little confused. Am I saying that right? Bona fide? Either way, I'm not in the mood for violence. I just want to have a I I just go have a match with the chaos theory if I wanted that. Fair enough, Vincent says, then holding up another DVD. Jingle All the Way? I haven't seen that one, Marcel says, then takes another sip. That what's that about? Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger basically tries to get his son this very popular superhero toy at Christmas. Kinda corny, but it's a fun watch. Let's watch that then. All right then. Vincent begins uh, getting up from the couch. So I get out the box of festive pastries you got from the Soho Cafe yesterday. I think this counts as an appropriate occasion. At that moment, his cell phone begins to ring, blasting one of the familiar tunes of their GDW theme song. Blasting out the familiar tune of their uh, theme song. Monsieur Giroux was right. Our theme song is loud, Marcel comments, chuckling at Vincent as Vincent answers the phone. Hello? Oh, hey, Kyle. Me and Marcel are about to start watching a movie. Do you mind if I put you on speaker? Bonjour, Monsieur Dregs. Monsieur Dregs. Marcel then chimes in rather cheerfully. Then again, this is Marcel. The dark side could have been calling, and despite his dislike for them, he still would have had the human equivalent of sunshine in front be the would have been the human equivalent of sunshine in front of them. Don't call me that. Monsieur Driggs was my dad, the asshole. Kyle retorts, his voice raised through the cell phone speaker, but one can tell he isn't offended one bit. But bonjour, you. Hope Vincent hasn't been causing you too much trouble? You shut your damn mouth, Kyle. I never cause trouble, Vincent protests, though he's also grinning like an idiot. And before you say anything, humbling the Thai twins and their bastard manager is not causing trouble. It's a public service, and you're welcome. Despite Vincent and Kyle's rather loud conversation, Marcel finds himself zoning out as he begins to stare at the view through the flat window. Just this time last year, they were in New York, spending many wonderful winter nights in the company of their friends from their old promotion. He even thinks back to the huge dinner that Black Rose had in her family's stately home, where she basically invited the entire Absolute roster. A rather drunk Tony Valentine had stolen a kiss from him under the mistletoe, much to his surprise. Vincent had almost started a fight with Scott Awesome during their huge game of Monopoly. Good times. Chaotic as hell, but good times. This year, it's just him and Vincent in a small London flat, thankful and relieved that they didn't get fired. Marcel? Vincent asks, gently grabbing his teammate's shoulder. You're doing okay there, bud? Huh? Oh, we. Yes, I'm okay. Just having things on my mind, and we can deal with those later. Right now, I want to watch a movie with. I'm not even going to try that. I'm not even going to try that. He then hears a humbug. Snack welcome. He then hears a loud crunching of a flaky pastry, which can only mean his tag partner has already started making a mess. And try not to get pastry crumbs on the couch. Mon dear, Vincent, use a plate. You use a plate, Vincent retorts, his mouth full of pastry, as he immediately proceeds to indeed get pastry crumbs on the couch. But he knows Marcel won't stay mad as long as he gets up to get the vacuum cleaner the second those credits start rolling. It wouldn't be a story without a threat from a threat to another tag team. Me now rapidly checking if there is any Dutch in the Danny stories. Yeah. So that is our first story of the stream. Um, on weed, thing you skipped is basically Fred for my best friend. Gotcha, gotcha. Well, I listen. I did in high school. I did uh like one I did one semester of 2 semesters of French, and I couldn't grasp it. So I mean, some of these stories will be Christmas related. Some of these will not. That is just the way this goes. Now, last year we didn't do a thing on Christmas. We had a show on the 26th instead. Now, here is a holiday story from um, POW's past. Having uh, having been Having been given the night off from the latest POW show, Evan takes the opportunity to fly home for the holidays. Jet lag was not going to keep the smooth operator away from what he had planned. A few hours after departing Gatwick Airport, Evan finally reached his destination, a modest home in a rather quiet street. Wasting no time, he knocks on the door. Moments later, a figure behind unlocks and opens it, revealing a woman in her late 50s, brunette hair with signs of gray evident, evident. Raka, welcome. A smile beams on her face, seeing who it is at her doorstep. Hello, Evan, she says, the smile never once faltering. Hi, Mum, he replies, moving in for an immediate hug. The two embrace for a loving reunion, having not seen each other in quite a while. How long, Mum? Definitely a few months at least. Miss Mrs. Emerson releases from the hug. Think of how long it's been since her son last visited. Hmm. Definitely around 5 months ago. 3 before you jetted off to the US. She motions her son to come in as he grabs his bags and enters, leaving them in the hallway along with his shoes. Evan follows his mother into the kitchen as she prepares a cup of tea for him. How are they treating you in America? Evan can't help but chuckle. Honestly, Mum, it's been a blast. Wrestling in the States has been far more fun than you'd expect. By the way, are you still getting the money I'm sending over? The mother begins pouring one cup ready for him. Yes, we have. and we can't thank you enough still. She finishes pouring and walks over with a cup in hand, passing the tea over to her son. Taking a sip, he smiles after taking a gulp. If it keeps you two out of the crap heap we used to call home, I'm more than happy to help. As both take another sip from their respective mugs, another knock is heard coming from the door. Oh, good, they've arrived. The mother proclaims as she excuses herself to go answer. Not sure who to expect, Evan peeks his head through the doorway, hearing a multitude of excited voices, recognizing who they belong to. He smiles as he is suddenly rushed by two children, roughly around the ages of 10 and 11, both screaming out, Uncle Evan! In excitement as they go to hug him, knocking Evan back a step. He laughs as he greets his niece and nephew. Hey kids, been behaving for your mom and Nan? Both children nod with glee. Nice. I'll catch up with you two in a moment. Just want to say hi to your mom. The two kids head off to a nearby living room as the woman approaches. Hey, Ellie. Been a while. The two embrace for a sibling hug. Likewise. You still doing okay? Evan confidently nods. Vince and Ashley are going to love the stories I got for them. Sometime later, the members of the Emerson family are all together in the living room. The two kids, entranced by the stories provided by their uncle. He shows his earned POW television championship to the pair, enamored that they sit in front of a wrestling champion. Man, it's good to see them again, Evan thought to himself. The time away couldn't have come at a better time. That was good. I like that. That was there's some of these stories that like when they came when they went up initially, I mean, we read them, we do whatnot, but like there's a lot that we forget. And that one kind of hit me in the feels a little bit. So there's that. Um and that one was submitted by Sinea, but it was written by Snack Toxin. So that was pretty cool. Let me see. Let me go to because I know there's a couple that I didn't mark down. Considering I did that one over a year ago, blimey, yeah. I mean, listen, it was like this community is amazing. Like honestly, you guys are some of the most creative people. Um some of the most um some of the best storytellers. Where is it? So, I mean, there's a lot of characters that are just kind of forgotten a little bit. What I will do now is I will do one. Now, this is what I think is kind of cool here. Um, I can't let my headphones go dead, so I need to pipe in a little background noise under me. On my end, you guys won't hear it. Oh, I so I'm gonna break the rules a bit. There's a story I wanted to suggest that I post right now, but Owie and I have been working on a few days together. Also, I only found out today that Spooky had submitted some of the other stuff about my boys. I mean, the French Connection, like I kind of dig them as a tag team. Stories of Danny meeting the French Connection. It's a very fun story of the three interacting. I will. So, Spooky, what I'll say is if I have time, because um, I effectively have about an hour 40 still. Um, just because like I have people coming over. I'll post it later either way. Yeah, that's fair. But what I will say is I do have this. And this one here, I can't do this one justice at all. So I will let someone else handle this story.
Briar lay in her bed, her eyes closed against the soft lights of a nearby desk lamp, eyes not seeing the room about her, basking in an even, warm-handed glow. Small toolbox lay in her lap, and her fingers slowly caressed its lid in a manner of someone lovingly touching a childhood diary, or perhaps more specifically, the childhood diary of someone they'd grown up with. She breathed in, deeply, mind going back to the night Jay had come by, to his cold voice sliding into the room like a disquiet breeze that had sucked the warmth of anything it brushed against. You walk away from me. You walk away from Darkside. You know what that means if and when Maddie comes to visit, he'd said. His voice had not carried the hint of threat. Oh, it would have been so much easier if it had. It was deadpanned, as though simply making her aware of facts. Without opening her eyes, the girl slid her fingers down to a lock on the toolboxes. With a trio of breath, the lock released itself with a satisfying click. Her fingers within pulled forth a black velvet-wrapped picture within a deep mahogany frame, and now, at last, her eyes opened. She stared at the woman, her black wavy hair framing her face with surprising delicacy. Her mouth opened with a broad smile, the picture taken at the exact moment a loud guffaw had been escaping her. In the background of the photo, a tranquil park could be seen, the afternoon sun illuminating the scene as the birds scattered. Briar couldn't find herself in the picture, but she knew she was there, just off frame, yelling at a goose that had challenged her to a honk-off. Briar frowned slightly, looking at the photo. I don't know what to do, Maddie, she muttered, her eyes tracing over the face that so many others had never had a chance to see, the one famously reluctant to be seen, much less photographed, without her makeup. Thought more than once I'd do everything to keep you smiling like that. So, why does this feel so wrong? I'm still getting matches. I have a pretty belt. All he's asking me to do to keep from giving you up is to help him out, and I mean, ain't he our friend? She grit her teeth, shaking her head a bit and gently rubbing her fingers across the front of the frame. She spread those fingers, pressing her hand to the picture even as she looked away, her mind going to Jay. to his attempt to have her and Yamashita beat Lily up in an uneven match, to his constant twisting rules and introducing unexpected variables to each of the recent matches against Blake. She shook her head. She could not think about Blake right now. Then she looked back at Maddie's photo. Whole basis of us getting together was I wanted to be challenged. I made you put me against the best wrestlers you could, so I only ever favored you if you found someone that could beat me. She bit her lip for a moment, closing her eyes. I didn't know what I had. Didn't mean to waste our time together. But you never minded, did you? Was my constant drive to be challenged the thing you saw in me from the start? She's quiet again, her brain having already made the leap to her next words, but her mouth not willing to say it. Eventually, though, she continues. Feels like if I'm going to try and keep you, it's going to be siding with Jay and his never fight straight up if you don't have to mentality. It means I got to quit being the person you wanted in the first place. It feels like either choice I make, I'm either giving you up or giving us up. And, I hate to say it, but I'd rather lose you than disappoint you. Rather be myself and hate Jay, and compromise myself and hate both of us for it. Slowly, she lays the photo back inside the toolbox, closing her eyes again. The soil stirred. Well, no.
Oh, all right. So we just had one from Raka. Raka was very gracious enough to record some. So we have those because I can't do Briar justice. Like let's just be real. Briar does Briar. Frequently. So um some of you know some but yeah, that was one of the rare moments where Briar was honest about who she was and without any showmanship in that promo. So I wanted to revisit it. Yeah, no, that was such a nice one. So this one was suggested by Sanea. Um, now, for those that were around in POW, you kind of know. For you kind of know. Or even at the beginning of PWA, you kind of know some of the stuff. But um, this was this was just a fun one. Like this was a fun one I wrote. Um, Yamashita stands at the counter, her eyes narrowing slightly at the clerk's tone, her patience wearing thin. Yamashita, calm but firm. I didn't ask for Delta 9 or Kratom. I asked for 6 marijuanas. The clerk glares at her, clearly skeptical, shifting uncomfortably in his stance. The clerk sneering. Yeah, right, officer. We don't sell that stuff here. Only legal products, all right? Delta 9, Kratom, vape juice, nothing illegal. Yamashita's gaze hardens as she leans forward slightly, her stoic expression never wavering. I'm not an officer. I'm simply running an errand for my friends. She straightens up, her posture unyielding. Slowly, with a touch of irritation. Now, if you're done insulting me, I'd like to purchase what I came for, or I will take my business elsewhere. The clerk hesitates, looking over his shoulder as though deciding whether or not to keep the confrontation going. The tension in the air thickens, but Yamashita remains steady and unblinking. refusing to back down. The clerk grumbling. I told you, lady, we don't sell illegal weed. Get it? Go somewhere else. Yamashita takes a deep breath, unfazed by his hostility. She takes out her phone and sends a text to Amber, letting her know the situation. Yamashita with a soft sigh. Very well. I will take my business elsewhere. Thank you for wasting my time. Without waiting for the clerk's response, she turns on her heel and walks out, the door chiming as it swings open. Her phone buzzes in her hand as Amber texts Yamashita with a thumbs up and question mark. Yamashita rolls her eyes as she walks to her next stop. So Yamashita, at a certain point, was part of Till Death Do We Party. Um, Darkseid had fallen apart in POW due to Jay's disappearance. There was a pendant that found its way into the possession of Angelina Caldwell, which just so happened to be the tether for Yamashita. So Yamashita kind of tracked her down, and was just like, I'm yours. I belong to you." And Angelina was just like, keep keep an eye on the other ones. So um, there's probably gonna be some other Yamashita doing dumb shit, not doing dumb shit, but like other people doing dumb shit things. Um, okay, that's a fucking real long one. It's time to play. It's time to scream. Welcome to Daisy's Dream House. A title card explodes in glitter and candy-colored confetti. Cut to Daisy's Dream House. Chaotic, rainbow-lit playroom. Giant neon slime tank bubbles in the corner. Inside, wrestling dummy with a sign around its neck. Slimy Yuri floats, tiara askew. Enter Daisy, skipping through a star-shaped door. Juice box in one hand, sparkly mic in the other. Rainbow suspenders glint. Daisy sing-songy, bouncing. Hi, dreamers and screamers. Welcome back to Daisy's Dream House, where fun meets fists and the floor is always lava. She hops onto a beanbag, waving dramatically. Oh, today's episode is extra special because guess what, boys and girls? Gestures towards slime tank bubbles rising dramatically. We've got a guess. Kind of. It's Slimy Yuri. Cartoon whoosh pops up as she points at the dummy. Daisy, mock serious. She said I only play crazy. But that's a fib, and I am crazy. And we don't like fibbers, do we, boys and girls? We shall be back after this ad break. Ad break. Crazy Daisy glitter goggles. Cuts to Daisy waving oversized rainbow glitter goggles, bouncing like a pogo stick. Hey, dreamers, want to see everything in super duper glitter vision? Grab your Crazy Daisy glitter goggles. Turn ordinary into sparktastic. Broccoli tastes like cupcakes. Maybe. Disclaimer. Results may vary. Broccoli's still broccoli. She tosses glitter. It splats on the camera with a comic splat sound. Available wherever dreamers and screamers shop. Or just use a jar of glitter and pretend. Same magic, less cleanup. Quick zoom to Daisy's ecstatic face, rainbow sparkles zooming past the screen. Back to the slime tech. Daisy tiptoes dramatically towards it, whispering, wide eyed, "Okay, dreamers. Okay, dreamers. Welcome back. Should I slime slimy Yuri?" Pause. Cartoon dun 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 sound. She bounces. Daisy leaning to camera. Cover her in gooey neon glittery slime? Or not? She pauses for audience vote. Glitter bursts around her head, giggling. "Oh, I hear you cheering. Yes? Okay, kids, let's do it." She yanks the lever. Splorsh. Neon slime erupts over the dummy. Daisy laughs uncontrollably, kicking her feet, cartoon stars spinning around her head. Daisy, gasping, wiping slime from cheek. "Oh no! Slimy Yuri's all goopy. Quick, Mr. Fluffer Nugget, get the towels." "Look at that, Yuri. You said you married madness? Congratulations. By the way, did you register for towels? Because here in Daisy's dream house, we slime our guests." And we got to take our next ad break. Mr. Fluffer Nuggets towel time. Cuts to Daisy holding a giant teddy bear superhero cape flapping. "Don't get slime struck, friends. Grab a Mr. Fluffer Nuggets towel, the only towel that hugs you back. That hugs back and sings your favorite theme song." She wraps the towel in her wraps herself in a towel and it bounces like a trampoline. Cartoon music notes fly out. Perfect for slime fights, bubble baths, or dramatic naps. Back to Daisy's striking a superhero pose beside Slime Tank, rainbow spotlight on her. "I'm not the same girl you fought before. Cupcakes and chaos, glitter and grit, hugs and headlocks." She dips her hand in slime, flicks some at the camera. Gooey green smear. "Next time, Yuri, I'm bringing the whole dream house." Ad break 3. Daisy's Dreamhouse DIY Chaos Kit. Cuts to Daisy surrounded by glitter bombs, foam shapes, slime jars, rainbow confetti, cartoon sparks, and boing sounds everywhere. Ever wanted your own dream house? Get the DIY Chaos Kit. Build slime tanks, throw glitter bombs, make your cat suspicious of your sanity. She tosses a glitter bomb. Rainbow confetti explodes on screen. Warning: may cause extreme giggling, spontaneous dance breaks, and epic sticky situations. Quick montage. Kids in cartoon outfits throwing fake slime. Daisy flying through rainbow hoops. Glitter raining. Back to closing scene. Jeez, this girl ad breaks more than WWE. Clockwork, welcome. Good to see you. I remember there being this many ad breaks. Stealing money from clueless children. I'm glad I kicked her head off. Back to closing scene. Daisy points at camera, neon slime dripping from fingertips. "So, if I could just take a moment to get serious, kids. Yuri, one way or another, I'm gonna find you." She breaks into song. "All kidding." Serious face. "All kidding aside." Serious face. "I'm gonna kick your butt." She pulls out a big smile. "Tune in next time, kids. Same Daisy time, same Daisy chaos. And remember," sparkly letters appear on screen, "in Daisy's dream house, nobody leaves clean." Daisy's dream house, where the fun don't stop, it just goes splat. I feel Daisy is definitely commit at least one OSHA violation here. I mean, it's like that. Okay. All right. Hope your voice holds out, Todd. Yeah. We're only like a half hour in. I should have recorded more to give you more breaks. That's fair. This one, so this was suggested by Spooky. This specific part was written, I mean, to be fair, this was a this was like written by everybody. Uh we will I think I saw that on the list. People gather for the bouquet throwing ritual. Amanda and Cindy held the bouquet and together tossed it into the crowd. It landed right in Angelina's arms. Diamona looked at Angelina. She held the bouquet in shock. No, no, no. No, no, no. Diamona said. Throw it back. Angelina held the bouquet tighter, a goofy grin of joy spreading across her face. Nope, not going to happen. You know what they say about catching the bouquet, right? Diamona's eyes narrow. I know full well what it's supposed to mean. She sighed, knowing Angelina was not going to give it up. You know what? Fine. But we can talk about this later. Blake Blake slid up to Diamona and elbowed her conspiratorially. So when's the ceremony? Diamona shot him a death stare. Blake tried to act very serious, but the twitch of a smirk on his lip gave him away. I'm very excited for you. Wouldn't miss it for the world. In fact, I'd be happy to help you start planning logistics. You should really start picking things out now. Logistics, really? You're just like a damn waiter at Forbidden Door. She paused for a moment. You know what? I'll take that deal. But if that happens, and that's a big if, I'll make sure to invite your BFF, Leo. Oh, well, I suddenly am very busy on that day, or I'll be getting the flu on that day specifically. Whatever it is, Blake grinned. Sucks to be you, though. What I wouldn't give to hear how that conversation with the ball and chain goes. Briar was walking past and stopped suddenly, backpedaling to join the conversation. Wait. Blake's BFF is Leo? I thought it was Drek. Gasp. Wait. Oh, OMG. You three should have a slumber party. Oh, can I come? We can paint your toenails and tell scary stories and put Leo's little beanie down over his eyes. That'll never stop being fun. Blake rolls his eyes. Yeah, how about no? I'm game, Drek said. If it means Briar is bothering Leo and not me. Sadea, welcome. Um, I wouldn't count on it, Blake said. He turned to Diamona. When we get the wedding invite here, when we got the wedding invite here, I said it's crazy how fast they're getting married. It feels like they just met. And Drex said, don't get any ideas. I'm still mad at you. And I was like, I'm only telling you because we need to RSVP. He chuckled at his own humble brag to Diamona. So yeah, think I'm in the clear, but don't need to worry about being proposed to anytime soon. Ha ha. Drek forced a laugh. Yeah. Diamona didn't reply. She walked off frustrated. Angelina, confused, called after, Celeste, where are you going? Angelina followed, still holding the bouquet. Blake watched them, concerned. Did I take that too far? She looks genuinely upset. Drek shrugs. When is she not? Thomas Black put a hand on Blake and Drek's shoulders. She's been a hothead since I met her. Hell, first time I saw her, she stabbed a guy with a fork. I'll make sure to not get too close to her the rest of the reception then, Blake said, since she'll be armed. Raka observations, offered her observations. Diamona is, she pursed her lips, someone who does not like when her decisions feel forced. When her gut and her emotions conflict, it makes her feel a loss of. Oh my god, Syl exclaims. Rax, just talk normal. No one is lying on the couch right now. Quit trying to be all, ooh, blah, blah, look at me, I'm smart. Raka glances at Syl, biting her lower lip slightly. Syl continued. Look, I know I know you have this whole mystical image thing going on, but you're not on stage. You could be yourself. Look, whenever we tie the knot, I'm going to insist on invoking the watchtowers at the beginning of the ceremony. Or are you going to be the real you? Raka considered this. I mean, maybe a little invocation for ambiance as a treat. So laughed. No watchtowers. Blake cocked his head at them. Wait, are you two not married? All this time, I thought you were. I mean, technically, common law, probably. Raka said. Pretty sure my dad would cut me out of the will. Syl said. He thinks Raka is some sort of demon. It's the red eyes. They creep him out. Albinoism is totally normal, Raka said defensively. Don't act like you don't wear colored contacts to increase the effect, Syl chided her. Enhancing normalcy doesn't make it not normal, Raka pointed out. Syl swatted at her. Hush up. You're not you'd be boring if you were normal. Blake nodded. Yeah, they definitely act like a married couple. Fucking hell, Syl. I like this part. It's cute. Yeah, so I forgot I wrote that. Yeah, no matter what, the wedding story will always be my favorite thing we as a community did together. Yeah, no. Lots of little things if you haven't read it through. Yeah. But I like the surprise pick. Yeah. Well, so the thing is, it was like the um suggestion was Amanda's wedding speeches or the fight. And I was just like, I mean, there's that little moment. And it gives like so I've said this before, and Raka and Syl's dialogue is actually based on me and my significant other. Though weirdly, I'm more like Syl than Raka. That's fair. Yeah, it's I love Angelina catching the bouquet and being like, no, 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 no. Yeah, that was. that was a good one. I mean, I've always liked got a present from his grandparents that he loves. It's a T-shirt that says, "I like the sound you make when you shut up." Nice. Went from that to being an apology. Okay, so to be fair, Raka nailed it. Raka absolutely nailed it when she said, um, uh, when she said that, yeah, where it's just like, it's like when a decision is forced, she has an issue with it because she feels like she's out of control. And I mean, the thing is, it's like, so the wedding is broken down to countdown to Amanda's wedding, the ceremony, the reception. Like it's those three parts to this, and I was like, oh, let me do something for the ceremony, like that had having Blake. So I mean, listen, I still have two spots for that wedding, and I'm just saying, Blake might get an invite, and so might Leo, and it's Rocky Horror themed, and so yeah, that'll be fun. And yeah. I mean, how could I not invite the future GDW tag team champions of Blake and Leo? If you could give any fictional character their own cooking show where contestants attempt to beat them, who would you choose? That is a great question. Um, so you know what? For me personally, I would probably go with one of my creations, Greg. You didn't put that on the list. Um, Mortis is one of the judges. Yes, absolutely. One of mine, but a very special one for the community, I'd say. Which one? Oh, uh, by the way, let me. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. It's Christmas. I'm a menace. Menace. Yeah. All right. So, the hot fudge. Okay. Um, I try to find it. Put this in the microwave for 45 seconds. What? Why? It's already soft. Because it's hot fudge, Blake. It needs to be hot. Fine. Blake took the jar and scooped some of the fudge topping into a bowl. What are you doing? You put the whole damn jar in the microwave, Drek demanded. Blake ignored him and popped the bowl into the microwave and then pulled it out. There. You happy now? No. How long was that? 20 seconds. Put it in longer. Touch it. It's hot. That's fucking warm at best, Drek scoffed with disapproval. Oh my god. Blake puts it in again. There. 4 more seconds. That's good enough. No, it isn't. Blake ignored him and scooped the warmed fudge uh, onto some ice cream. There was a knock on the door at the door. Blake cocked his head, confused. Who could it be? The only person who would show up at his door unannounced was Briar Rose. And that wasn't her trademark knock. That was too ordinary. He looked through the people at the front door and opened it, surprised. Susie? Suzette Summers bounced in, toting a bag behind her. Hi, can I crash here for a bit? They won't pay for my hotel anymore, and I need somewhere to stay. I didn't, but you. What are you doing here? Blake sputtered. I live here now, Suzette announced happily. You know her? Drek asked as he joined them. She's one of the DWA newbies. What? Blake asked, still somewhat stunned. I won a tournament, Suzette said cheerfully, and I have a belt. What? Blake repeated incredulous. Not a belt from the tournament, Suzette explained. A different belt. I guess I didn't win all of the tournament, just most of it. 90% of it, or some percent of it. Math! Also, Drek said as he held up his bowl, the fudge touched my ice cream and got cold. Blake blinked at him. You're surprised that whatever touched your ice cream got cold? Well, it wouldn't have if you had made it hot like I said, Drek argued. It's in the fucking name, Blake. Okay, hang on. Blake steadies himself to get his bearings. He said, looking at Suzette. Why didn't they find you a residence? Well, I mean, technically they did, Suzette said, but it was pretty far from work, so I told them that I'm a scared little girl and it's too dangerous for me to walk so far all on my own lonesome. You? Too scared to walk by yourself? Blake said skeptically. I've seen you terrorize creeps who tried to hit on you in the Hollywood subway. Yes, but they don't know that, Suzette said gleefully. So they're still looking for a different place for me to live. But right now, I need a place to crash. And you're so close to work, so this is perfect. I don't have a lot of extra space, Blake protested. That's okay. I could sleep on the couch. Wait. Suzette's eyes brightened. Do all the pieces of this move? You could totally build like a couch fort. The side of Blake's mouth twitched upward despite himself. That is exactly what I did as soon as I got it. Transformer couch buildy block time. Yay! Suzette dropped her bag and flopped happily onto the couch. Wow, this is really comfortable. Make yourself at home, I guess. Blake left Suzette on the couch and went back to the kitchen. Drek was scooping the last of the hot fudge from the jar and putting it into his bowl. Why do you always attract the crazy ones? He asked. First J.C. Penney, then Elmira, and now this one. You know, you know who's really crazy? Suzette chimes in, poking her head around the corner. Is this new girl, Sunny, who just joined the GDWA? She's like weirdly obsessed with me for no reason. Blake looked over at her. Do you mind trying to have a conversation here? Yeah, I mean, no. Suzette corrected herself. I don't mind at all. Happy to help with the conversation. That's not what I meant. So this Sunny girl, right? Suzette continued, seemingly oblivious to having been dismissed. She comes up and just starts invading my personal space without permission. Wow, that must be so awkward for you, Blake quipped. I know, right? Suzette agreed wholeheartedly. Who even does that? Anyway, so comes up and starts hugging me like we're best friends or something. Like I know we just wrestled and stuff, but that doesn't mean I want people touching me all the time. You poor thing, Blake said without much sympathy. Thank you. I knew you'd understand. Has that ever happened to you? Someone unexpectedly just barges into your life and expects you to be all receptive to it when you're like, whoa, I did not agree to this. Oh, no, never, Blake said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. I've never experienced that. And that's totally not happening right now at this precise moment. You're lucky, Suzette said sincerely. It's so annoying. Okay, I'm gonna go find some blankies for my new couch bed. She bounded off cheerily, and can be heard opening every door, cabinet, and drawer she could find. Blake sighed. Like I said, Drek repeated. Why do you keep attracting the crazy ones? She's a good kid, Blake defended weakly. You can always move in with me, Drek offered. Can we not talk about this right now? I've got a lot I'm dealing with right now. Drek shrugged. Sorry. I'm just trying to help make your life easier. He tossed the empty jar in the trash. I know. Blake retrieved the glass jar from the bin and put it in the recycling. Thank you. No problem. Drek puts a spoonful of ice cream in his mouth and closes his eyes. That's so good. Oh, God. He moaned ecstatically. I'm going to devour you. He pointed empathetically with his spoon. See? Now that's how you make some fucking hot fudge. Blake sighed, rubbing his brow, knowing he wasn't going to win any arguments with these two today. Moan, you motherfucker. God damn it. All right, let me find it. Mm, so good. Oh God. I'm going to devour you. That better. Here to support, but I have family around, so be lurking. Merry Christmas. Thank you for popping in, Jay. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna have family here shortly myself. This ice cream made the fudge cold when he touched it. Susie's story. What a tournament and a belt, but not like a tournament belt. You know stuff. Fucking Elmira. I'm convinced we can never let Suzette and Marcel wrestle as a team, or their combined positivity and optimism would give us all diabetes. We'll be happy to know that Sunny is now harassing Evelyn. Oh, that'd be wonderful with sunshine and happiness. Blake is a sarcastic boy who doesn't know how to talk about his feelings. Yay, glitter. Drek, you beautiful son. Thank you. My Christmas has been made. Yeah, I've been watching I've been watching DWA. That's funny. I mean, all right. So here's my thing. Like POW, PWA, uh, GDW. Like we we operate in the same sphere. Um, and like I would put like I would put like DWA there with like OFW and such, where it's like, I mean, well, I say OFW, any of the console ones, I put them where it's like I don't want to say alternate Earth, but like it's definitely a different universe. Yeah, DWA is not considered canon to the larger GDW PWA sphere, right? Yeah. So to my knowledge, I know with me, everything up and like everything this season is alternate. They were already separated in my mind. Yeah, this is where Amanda's shipburner thing started, which is kind of hard to ignore. Yeah, no. So like, and it's also where like Diamona started her like hatred of Evelyn Dust. Um, so like DWA, GDWA, like that era is fine. But then like after that, like anything current for DWA, just like that's different. That's like stuff that doesn't cross over. Like that's if I were to put yeah, if I were to put a character in if I were to put somebody in DWA, um, they would not be like what's happening there would not be referenced because like it's just one of those things. Um, where the fuck am I? All right, we're at 1 o'clock. We already did like an hour of it. Oh, damn it! I had forgotten that like I had moved some stuff and my camera was like so low, so it's like happy holidays. Welcome. Thank you very much for that follow. Welcome to the precipice. All right. Let me go back to yeah. Like there's a lot of history. Um, with like GDW, like with GDW stuff. Also, well, yeah. There's just like I can't ignore DWA. And its impact on what came from it. I didn't have time to go look through because there's like a lot of older stuff that does not have TLDR, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. I think that it might be time for another story, uh, as read by Briar Rose.
The soil stirred? Well, no, it didn't, but the soil looked like it stirred. A hazy and indistinct figure rose like so many wispy plumes from the dark ground, coiling around the gnarled branches and coalescing within the empty air before the figure. Seated within a spray painted pentagram of slightly shining silver near an unmarked grave. The wisp rasped, an earthly sound, rattling through the air, and then shifted forward, going to engulf the figure before it. No, no, no! Briar said, waggling a finger back and forth in the empty air between them. Friends, do not try and consume one another's vitality. Now I brought a game for us to play. She gestures to a copy of Nightmare Before Christmas themed Monopoly box sitting nearby. I want to be the zombie duck. What are you? The apparition hung silently in the air before her, stillness radiating from it. After several seconds, it surged forward again. It was again rebuffed. I told you, none of that. Fine, fine. You can be Jack, main character and everything, right? Pretty nice of me. Here, roll these. She holds a hand up and offers a pair of dice to the phantasm before her. She waits as an appendage roughly approximating a hand move through her own hand and the dice, failing to move the dice at all. She sighed, putting the dice back and clapping her hands 2 times, uttering a few words beneath her breath to break the summoning, and watched the apparition sink once more beneath the ground. On herself, stupid, no hand having, storytelling, no games playing specters, wasting my time? Blah! Why is making new friends so hard? Standing abruptly, she shoved her hands deep within her coat pockets and stomped away, heading back towards civilization.
Thank you, Raka, for that one. I do appreciate that. um, I've been like so busy. Um, Cards with Specters Against Humanity. Yes. That was such a great little one, you know. It was a game of what would Briar do if she had no friends. So what that'll make me do is I will. We're feuding, and Blake was all mad because she had been fucking the dark side. Like it's any of his business. Was that like was that was that before like I want to say that was after was that after Forbidden Door or Five Bidden Door? Cuz I feel like that one was after. It was before. Okay, all right. Cuz I want to say that one felt like it was like after because there was that moment where like I know Briar and Whiskers both had like this profound loss because Jay was gone. Talking again before. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Uh, so this one here, like this is one of mine, and this was definitely after the cutoff. Because this was on the. I wrote this yesterday. Christmas Eve settles softly over Savannah. Overcast sky, 59 degrees Fahrenheit. The house is quiet except for the faint hum of a space heater and the scratch of tiny brushes against plastic. The coffee table has been transformed into a miniature war zone. Unpainted figures, half finished terrain, paint pots cracked open, paper towels stained with every color imaginable. A low holiday playlist hums in the background, just loud enough to exist. Celeste sits cross legged on the floor, rolled sleeves rolled up, methodically dry brushing armor plates. Angelina sprawls nearby, tongue caught between her teeth in fierce concentration as she holds a miniature far too close to her face. Angelina. Okay, explain to me why this one looks like Briar Rose. Celeste doesn't look up. A beat passes. Celeste. Because it is Briar Rose. Angelina lowers the miniature slowly. No. Turns it slightly. No. See? This is supposed to be a generic warlock NPC. Why does she have Briar's hair and squints? Is that a solo cup? Celeste finally glances over. The miniature is unmistakable. Wild curls, sharp posture, dressed in flowing warlock robes. One hand raised like it's mid lecture, the other clutching a tiny red cup. Accuracy matters. You're a menace. Angelina dips her brush into red paint, trying to add tips to the miniature's hair. Her hand shakes. The paint blobs. God damn it! She wipes the brush, tries again. The frustration creeps in. Shoulders tighten. Breath shortens. Why is red always the hardest color? It never does what I want it to do. It just exhales sharply. Bleeds. Celeste sets her miniature aside and shifts closer. You don't have to get it perfect. I know. Quiet. But I want it to look right. The brush pauses midair. Knock, knock. Both of them freeze. Angelina. Are you expecting someone? Celeste. Nope. Celeste rises smoothly, padding towards the door. Angelina stays seated, still staring at the Briar miniature like it personally offended her. The door opens. Cold air slips in, along with two figures standing on the porch. Celeste's expression changes immediately, soft, knowing. Hey, William. Hey. Angelina hears the voice and her head snaps up. What? She's already on her feet, rounding the corner just as Celeste steps aside. William stands there, taller than she remembers, bundled in a jacket that still smells like travel. Beside him is Stephen, warm smile, dark curls, hands resting comfortably at William's back. Will? Her voice cracks on the name. Merry Christmas, sis. Angelina stares, stunned, and then looks back at Celeste. You, points. You knew. Reno gets cold. Savannah's nicer. Angelina doesn't say another word. She barrels forward, wrapping her arms around her brother like she's afraid he might vanish. You didn't tell me. That was the point. Stephen laughs softly as they hug, then steps in when Angelina pulls back. Hi, I'm Stephen. I've heard. A lot. All good things, I hope? Mostly terrifying. They all laugh. The tension breaks cleanly. William glances past them into the living room, eyes catching the miniature setup. Are those D&D figures? Angelina. Till death do we dungeon, gestures vaguely. It's a whole thing. William steps closer to the table and stops short when he sees the warlock miniature. Why does this one look like it's about to lecture me about wine? Angelina groans. Thank you. Validation. Sliss picks up the miniature and holds it up proudly. That's Briar, Warlock, Menace, Solo Cup for authenticity. Stephen. That's art. Angelina laughs, the sound loose and real, the frustration gone. She takes the miniature back, steadier now, and carefully adds the red tips again. This time they land just right. There, she smiles. Perfect. William watches her for a moment and then looks at Celeste. Thanks for this. Always. Outside, Christmas Eve stays gray and quiet. Inside, paint dries, laughter settles, and for a few hours, nothing exists beyond family, tiny figures, and a warlock holding a solo cup. Yeah, I wrote that one. That was a fun one. Oh man. Yeah, sure. But some more classic POW, yes. Blake Burns adjusted the camera and then stepped back from it as it could see both him and his tag partner. Congrats, BPM, Blake said, on your victory against the current tag title holders. That is something to celebrate. And to the Blood Brothers, Blake continued, congratulations on your victory at a deal with death against La Familia, who were the true contenders for the title. But those titles are ours, fair and square, Drek declared. And none of you has ever beat us. Not those masked fuckers, not the Blood Brothers. Are they really brothers? Like, are they related? Blake said uncertainly. No, I don't think so. So, in other words, Drek said, they're lies. Fake brothers. Hell, Blood Oath is a better name. And what are the other guys called? EPM? Drek asked. Like, electromagnetic pulse? No. BPM? Shit. No. BMP? No. Shit. Fuck. Now, you've got me saying it wrong. BPM. Who's in that team? Blake pulled up the roster and showed Drek. These guys. Drek peered at the roster. I like DJ. Looks cool. Better than DJ Snowman. Are all DJs dicks? What's Schmidt have to do with Snowman? Nothing. Inside joke. Drek brushes the question aside. And is that the guy in the green jumpsuit? Blake could never tell Drek was pulling his leg when it comes to identifying colors. It's yellow. Like Kill Bill? They could they should call their team DJ Bananas. Blake forced himself not to face palm. He turned to the camera again. To BPM, congratulations on technically qualifying for the title shot. He said in a sincere but ominous tone. By if you really want to become champs, you're going to have to go through us. Blake stopped, his demeanor changing as he turned to his side. Can I say that? Or will it just sound like an empty threat? Those titles are ours. We never lost them, Drek pointed forcefully at the camera. They were stripped from us, and nobody strips Blake except me. Blake rubs his brow with one hand hiding his face. God damn it. What? Drek asked. Those titles belong to us. Trying to put out a serious message here, Blake chastised him. That was great, Drek said. Leave it just like that. Blake sighed. Do we have a video editing crew? Yeah, they must have someone, Blake said, answering himself, talking through his thoughts out loud. Otherwise, how would any of the promos go out? Okay. The camera's view filled as Blake walked up to it and adjusted again, talking into the lens. Okay, edit all of this nonsense out and try to make it look halfway presentable. Drek came up behind him and seemingly circled his arms around Blake. It was hard to tell from the camera being so close. It's fine, Drek reassured him. It's perfect, just like you. You're the one who wanted to make this video, Blake exclaimed. I'm trying to be serious here for just 1 minute. Don't worry about it. It's fine the way it is. I stand by everything I said. He kissed Blake's temple and nuzzled his ear. I'll stop, Blake protested half-heartedly. He looked into the camera and rolled his eyes, doing a very bad job of trying not to grin like an idiot. Just scrap this whole thing, he instructed. We're going to have to re-record it from the top. That's fine, Drek said. I'll work a Mando commercial in there this time. God damn it, Blake muttered, feigning irritation before busting out laughing. This conversation happened. Blood pressure monitor. Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Marcel's announcement to the GDW universe. Okay. Okay. All right. Found it. Sunday afternoon. A new post has just appeared on the Twitter account Monsieur Marcel GDW. It simply reads, to the GDW universe with a video attached. The video plays as such. Marcel is sat on the couch of their flat, seeming a little nervous. He makes eye contact with the camera lens. He lets out a sigh, but is able to compose himself quite quickly. Bonjour, GDW universe. It's me, Marcel. Wait, you already know that. Can I start again? The video then cuts to another shot of Marcel sat on the couch, where he clearly having another go at articulating himself. Bonjour, GDW universe. I'm making this video as I have un grand announcement for you all. Vincent heard off screen. We didn't get fired. Marcel chuckling. None. We didn't get fired. But that's not what I was going to talk about. The video then makes another jump cut. Marcel looks rather deep in thought before making eye contact with the camera once more. Honestly, Marcel, going up against the man with the chainsaw last night at the crossfire and whatever was going down with the so-called dark side and the ascendancy? Vincent heard off screen. Oh, by the way, Chaos Theory. Since you're going after Darkseid, I'll play nice for now. Marcel, looking a little embarrassed. Please, there's no need for that. Besides, I've already forgiven them. Vincent, off screen. I haven't. Oh, and Jay? He then appears on camera, giving the middle finger. Fuck you, eh? We thought you were cool despite being dark side. Marcel chuckling, shaking his head. This is not a call out video. The video then does another jump cut, Marcel clearing his throat as he takes on another thoughtful expression. Marcel. So seeing all those things going down last night, they made me realize that there is much scarier things out there than what people think of you. Than what people think of moi. He then takes a pause as if silently psyching himself to carry on. Life is too short to keep some things hidden, so I wanted to share something about myself with the roster and the GDW universe. Even though I have not been part of either for very long, I wanted to let everyone know that he takes a deep breath as if steadying his nerves. However, he doesn't say anything for a few seconds as he finds it difficult to look at the camera. Vincent heard off screen. I'm sure wherever you have to tell them, they'll still love you, bud. Clearly touched by Vincent's words, a genuinely warm smile then forms on Marcel's face as he then stares straight at the camera. Marcel, I am gay. Marcel's smile grows bigger as he realizes what he just managed to say out loud. I am gay? Simple as I like men, but not Vincent. Well, I like Vincent, but not like that. Gets flustered, getting flustered, but he's laughing at the same time. Ah, words are difficult. Why is English like this? Hashtag Chaos Theory did nothing wrong. I'm right there with you. Right there with you on that. He's gonna behave. He's too busy going after Justin. Yeah. Vincent then appears on camera, almost tackling his tag partner as he gives him a very genuine, sincere hug. Ah, bud, I'm so proud of you. And I'm sure the GDW universe is proud of you too. Marcel, you seem happy. Vincent, of course I'm happy. Marcel, coy, you didn't let me finish. You seem happy, but you don't seem too surprised. You knew, didn't you? Vincent releasing him from the hug. Marcel, Anton, Ryu. How long have we been tag partners? Part of me always suspected that you were more than just flamboyant. But it wasn't my place to say anything, eh? Chuckles. I guess that makes you both gay and European. Marcel. I don't know what that exactly means, but we. Oh, merde. The camera is still on. Vincent. Don't worry, bud. I've got it. Vincent walks towards the camera. He can't help but have a huge grin on his face. Vincent, his voice sharper. Honestly, I'm so proud of him. The video then stops there. These wrestling companies have a real lack of straight people. Yes. Yes, we do. You know, as like honestly like writing for me writing like I don't know what it is. Like Frank is straight, yes. Danny's straight. Um, Isabella's straight. So I just discovered. Oh, I mean, she has a. Is Danny straight or is Danny just not getting any? Cherry's straight. So there's that. Um, for now, who knows? She's literally engaged. One of the stories that she says is the fucking proposal. To whom? I missed that story. All right. All I'm saying is it gives me Ace vibes. That's fair. Let me. Doesn't mean she's getting any. People do wait till marriage, you know. I mean, not only that, but then some people also get married. Um, and yeah, hey, Vincent is straight, but since it's called him the sexually ambiguous Canadian, I don't know anymore. And marriage means you ain't getting any either. The little shawarma shop smelled like heaven, or at least the closest Rotterdam could get. Spices hung thick in the air, cumin, paprika, garlic, lamb searing on the grill. The dining table, pushed together from two smaller ones to fit everyone like a riot of color. Bowls of hummus, baba ganoush, stacks of fresh pita, lamb skewers, roasted vegetables slick with olive oil. Dishes keep arriving even when nobody had space left on their plate. Danny was wedged between Yosef and Amari, her championship belt propped lazily on the counter nearby, like another member of the family invited to the feast. Her hair was still damp from a shower, her voice a little hoarse from yelling, but her grin didn't hadn't dimmed since she'd walked in. Every time she reached for a plate, Amari was already shoving it closer. Every time she tried to insist she was full, Yosef's mom and dad scoffed like she committed a crime. She was home, not just in Rotterdam, but here, in this chaos. By the time dessert came out, little trays of baklava sticky with honey, powdered sugar dusted lukma, lakma, mint tea steaming in tiny glass cups. Danny was so full She swore she couldn't move. She leaned back, patting her stomach, grinning dramatically. Honestly, she muttered, if Cherry Python had me in a headlock right now, I'd just tap out. No energy. You all killed me worse than she ever could. The table roared in laughter. Yusef smiled, but he wasn't laughing, not really. He cleared his throat, tugged in his shirt collar, like he had suddenly shrunk. Danny noticed the shift, the way his legs bounced under the table, the tilt and tilted her head at him, curious. Then he stood. He began, raising his glass. His accent carried the word steady, even though his hands weren't. I want to say something to Danny, but also to all of you, because you've been her family here as much as you've been mine. The chatter quieted, everyone leaning in. Danny blinked, cheeks pink. Wait, are you toasting me? I didn't do anything. I just. You retained your championship, he said softly. That's not just. That's everything. You worked for it, bled for it, and you still came here after. Like always, to sit with us and eat until you can't move. That's. That's Danny. He paused, swallowed. His hands trembled as he set his glass down and reached into his pocket. And that's the woman I love. Danny froze, her fork halfway in her mouth. Time seemed to stumble. Then he dropped to one knee beside her chair, pulling a small velvet box open with shaky fingers. Inside, the ring gleamed under the shop's warm lights. Danielle Vandenberg, he said, voice breaking with nerves, but steady and intent. Will you marry me? For a moment, Danny forgot how to breathe. The whole table seemed to vanish. It was just him and her, and this impossible wave crashing over her. Her hands flew to her mouth, her eyes burning instantly, spilling tears she hadn't ever felt coming. Yes, she choked out, already half sobbing, half laughing. Yes, yes, of course, Yusef. I. Mashallah. Yes. She threw her arms around him, nearly knocked him over. Their chairs clattered as the family erupted in cheers and claps. And then, right at the perfect moment, Amira let out a piercing scream of pure joy. She said yes! She leapt up, knocking over her tea, spinning in circles like a firecracker. The romantic mood shattered, but in the best, most them way possible. The shop shook with laughter and applause, relatives pounding the table. Music started up from someone's phone. Danny was laughing through her tears, still clutching Yusef, like she might not never let go. The Continental Champion had just accepted the most important challenge of her life, and this time there was no opponent, just forever. Close enough on her full name. That is, listen. I'm trying. I am trying. Mara's main. I mean, Danny's boyfriend is Muslim, so that tracks honestly. Feel like I'm in the minority sometimes as a straight person. That's listen. I like boys. one of side pieces is married to an asexual person, which is why they're a thing sometimes. We're a thing sometimes. She knows I'm not a bad person. One of my side pieces is silicone. Fair. I think my primary one is hard plastic. Listen, yeah, you're doing great. Yeah, it's a thing. So like Twitch was just like, hey, we're gonna run an ad, and I'm looking at the time, and I'm basically just going to apply. Yeah, we're going for like another 15. So where is it? Where is it? Boop. And type boop. Naturally, right? Yeah, it's. Thank you for bringing my old promos. It's very weird hearing them talk about BPM without any of the hate I have for them now. Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. More naturally to certain characters. I wrestle that never do the cute stuff with. I I don't know. Like I've always had you know what? If I'm going to read cutesy shit, it's the wrong one. Black screen, a low hum. Old tape hiss. Flickers of footage bleed in, grainy, imperfect, rings under dim lights, blood on canvas, crowds that felt closer, meaner, louder. POW logos, early PWA banners, faces younger, hungrier. Loss isn't always loud. Sometimes it happens quietly when no one is looking. Clips of chairs being folded, a ring being torn down, a locker room half empty, a referee counting three while the hard cam shakes. 2 years. 2 years of sacrifice dressed up as progress. 2 years of telling yourselves this was necessary. Quick flashes, title belts abandoned, gear bags left behind, a spotlight hitting no one. But sacrifice only means something if someone remembers what was given up. Names appear one by one on screen, stark white text over black and white footage. Kenji Shibata, Raymond Young, Buster Graves, Gordon Mackey, La Familia de Negron, Gary Goldman, Lassiter Rhyme, Evan Emerson, Tyler Cross, Synthetic, LJ Sanchez, Selena Jose, Haley Culver, Frankie Allen, Blake Burns. Each name fades slower than the last. They didn't come back. Some were pushed out. Some were forgotten. Some were told there was no longer room for them. The footage sharpens, modern PWA clips, cleaner lighting, smoother production, wider camera angles, a colder feel. And in this place, something else grew. Something polished, something safer, something easier to sell. A slow motion shot of a ring apron snapping into place, security standing at barricades, a pristine entrance ramp. This version of POW, this version of PWA is a bastardization of what it was meant to be. The music drops lower, almost silent. Outlaw wasn't a brand. It wasn't a slogan. It was a promise that if you stepped through that curtain, you fought like it mattered because tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. Old footage, wild brawls, handheld cameras, fans inches from the action. That spirit is gone. But it isn't dead. The screen cuts to darkness. A single silhouette steps into frame, hood down, face still obscured. Sooner than later, I will bring it back. The silhouette steps forward. The light hits his face. It's Thomas Black. Enjoy the holidays while you can. Suddenly, Expedition 33 kicks down the door. Tomorrow comes. PWA, softer, smoother, easier to take than POW. POW, for real badasses only. Yeah. But anyway, I do want to thank each and every one of you that did spend a couple hours of your Christmas here with me. Um, I do appreciate each and every one of you. Um, you guys are amazing, and honestly, the reason why I continue to do this. So, um, we have next week on New Year's Eve. We will have a special start time. It will be a night stream. This is the best thing happening today. I might stream a little bit later. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. I do appreciate it very, very much. And uh, have a happy holiday. Um, don't you dare make me break my watch streak. Listen, so what's fun about that is if so with VODs, like the VOD, like watching the VOD, you have 24 hours to watch the VOD. Uh, you'll have time to keep it. Yeah, you have 24 hours to keep your streak alive. It doesn't count as a new view, but it keeps you from losing your streak. So, but yeah. So anyway, thank you guys very much. You guys have a great one, and happy holidays. I will catch you next time. Good night, everybody.